Okay, good morning. I'm sure you're all anxious to ride our brand new trains with the two lines. So let's start our speaking program. Please join me in welcoming King County Council Member and Sound Transit Board Member Claudia Balducci to the stage for
Thank you. Just a little bit of trivia. The gentleman who introduced us, that number 2 on his hat could be for his his seniority number at Sound Transit. That is one of our top 3 employees who have worked with the agency since the beginning. All right, in the back, can you hear me okay? That's a big no. How did you know to say no? I'm sorry. I'm going to do the best I can. I'm going to lean all the way in. All right. Good morning. I am Claudia Balducci. I'm a member of the Sound Transit Board, and I want to say to you, welcome to opening day of Eastlink Light Rail. Woo! Today, of course, is the culmination of a long time dream for East King County. We have wanted this system for almost 20 years. A regional high-capacity transit system that will connect everyone to all that the Eastside has to offer, starting in just a few minutes, and not long after that to the rest of the region. And we couldn't be more delighted to be here today to ride it for the first time together. This moment has clearly been a dream of mine for a really long time. I have been honored to fight to provide this light rail line to the people of Bellevue and East King County. As a Bellevue City Council member, thank you. As mayor of the city, as a King County Council member, and as a Sound Transit Board member. But of course, this work is only possible because of many others, and we're going to hear about a lot of those people today. But first, I want to thank the elected officials who are here to join us today. I see you all, so many colleagues in local elected office, state elected office, and federally. And I would love to call you out individually, but in the immortal words of Jerry Garcia, this train got to run today. So, ooh, yeah. So let us all just give a round of applause to all these folks. Their public service makes things like this possible. Thank you. When I proposed the idea of a starter line, so that wasn't the name yet, running from South Bellevue to Redmond until the rail across I-90 was ready, I wasn't sure it would be possible. I really wasn't. I could think of 3 different ways it wouldn't be possible, but I wanted to bring the benefits of light rail to the east side as soon as possible. I am so proud of this agency that they took up that challenge and worked through not only the 3 things I could think of, but the hundreds of other things necessary to make this happen today. And just one more thank you before we get into the speakers. Thank you to all the Sound Transit planners, staffers, workers, leadership who made this happen. It wouldn't be possible without them. Okay. So today we're here to celebrate the largest single-day opening of light rail since the original one line opened in 2009. And we're going to hear from an amazing lineup of speakers who have helped to make it happen. I first want to acknowledge one person who we're not going to hear from directly because she is too humble, and that is Susan Fletcher, our FTA Region 10 Administrator. Susan, where are you? She was here. There you are. Thank you. You and the Federal Transit Administration have been incredible partners in this work, and we could not have done it without you. Thank you so much. All right. Right, let's get going. It is my honor to introduce first and foremost Muckleshoot Indian Tribal Council Member Donnie Stevenson for joining us today, and invite him to please come up and give some welcoming remarks.
What an incredibly exciting day to look out amongst the crowd and see so many faces of friends and colleagues and leaders from within the region with whom I've had an opportunity to work as a tribal leader. It's truly a humbling experience. First things first, Weats, Weats, Donnie Stevenson Titsta, Bakoshu Abchad, Hauts Dedatu. Welcome, welcome. My name is Donnie Stevenson, and I am Muckleshoot. I'm an elected member of the Muckleshoot Tribal Council and a appointed member of the Indigenous Advisory Council for the city of Seattle. It's truly a joyous day to be able to come together in celebration with so many hardworking people and leaders from throughout our region. The sort of reality of who we are as a tribal people, that Muckleshoot represents really the first people of this land, that from the shores of the Salish Sea to the base of the Cascade Range are what is known as the Muckleshoot usual and accustomed lands and areas. So for literally thousands of years and hundreds of generations, our people, my ancestors, have lived and moved throughout this region. The irony and I think some of the beauty of being asked to be here today to acknowledge that history within the context of the two-line opening and going into operation and being able to celebrate this important achievement and accomplishment, is that it's really about bringing people together and connecting people. And if I were going to offer a direct sort of summary of who my people are over those hundreds of generations and thousands of years, it would be just that. It would be that we're a group who are connected, and that throughout this region we traveled to connect with one another and to connect with the resources in the land, and that being here today to be able to speak to this important occasion with so many other wonderful leaders is a living representation of my Muckleshoot tribal culture, that I get to acknowledge our continued role in doing just that and bringing people together. One of the fundamentals of culture is that it is a living and breathing thing. That if you talk to anthropologists, there are these pillars that define culture, right? And one of them is that it's living. And so as a tribal people, to be able to carry forward the traditions of those who came before us, our ancestors and our elders, and to bridge that in the present today, but most importantly to the future and to all those who follow us, it's fundamentally the most important role that we can hold, and it's the most meaningful part of our existence. And doing so in a way that celebrates all of our people and acknowledges the things that we share in common is something that I'm incredibly happy, I'm incredibly proud to be able to be here to do today. So in our language, there are two terms that I'd like to sort of leave you with. One is it's our term, our verbiage for good work, because I think that everything represented here today and the celebrating of this achievement, it's the culmination of just that, a bunch of really good work. So in our language, that's Hautsiayus. Hautsiayus is good work. So thank you all for your Hautsiayus. And two, in closing, a really important cultural acknowledgement for us that when we speak and we offer our words, we recognize that they're powerful and that they have the ability to impact and shape not only ourselves but all those with whom we come in contact with. And we have traditions in terms of how we acknowledge that and how we denote that ability. And one of those in our culture is to close with the term Tzutsiab. And what that means, it's really fitting and it's really appropriate for today's occasion. Tzutsiab means for all of our people, for all of our relations. So I thank you for the opportunity to be here today. My hands are raised to all who have worked to achieve such an important accomplishment. I thank all of the amazing leaders that I see laid out before me. It's an honor to be here amongst you and have an opportunity to share the stage with you today. And I leave you with the thought that that Tzutsiab, that the work that is done is for all of our people. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Stevenson, and we look forward to revitalizing those critical connections for all of us. So lovely. Next, please join me in welcoming a fearless leader who has been a key architect and driver of our region's transit system and who really, in very, very concrete ways, made today's opening of this starter line possible. King County Executive and Sound Transit Board Chair Dow Constantine. Come on up. Everyone gets hugs today.
Oh, my word. Don't say concrete. Still having flashbacks to that period of time. I got to tell you, this is really a surreal moment for a lot of us. You think about everything that each of you has done to make today possible and all the years and decades of toil and doubt, and here we are today. So look around, take a deep breath, and appreciate the work that we have done together. Congratulations to all of you. You know, it's not difficult to use the word historic as we open light rail service for Eastside residents. This is a genuinely historic day for the Eastside and for all of Puget Sound. Bellevue and Redmond, starting today, are now better connected than ever before. You don't have to deal with traffic if you don't want to, or parking. You don't have to spend more of your paycheck on gas just to get to one neighborhood, from one neighborhood to the other for work or for school or for dining or for anything you want to do. You have a new, absolutely reliable way to get around. Link Light Rail's new 2-line. This opening marks the first major light rail expansion outside of Seattle this year, and the 1 and 2 lines now serve 5 regional cities. But we are not stopping. Yes, Monty, that is correct. On August 30th, light rail will go even farther than before, crossing county lines for the first time to serve Snohomish County and 8 cities. We will be in Shoreline. We'll be in Montlake Terrace. We will be in Linwood. And we will keep going. A year from now, we'll move even further into Redmond and 2 new stations, Marymore Park and downtown. And late next year, all of these extensions will be knit together as the 2-line crosses Lake Washington, adding 2 new stations. And lastly, looking ahead at 2026, we'll head even further south and add 8 miles of track to bring light rail to Kent, to Des Moines, to Federal Way. So while I am thrilled to be celebrating this milestone with you here today, I say the best is yet to come. And we are celebrating a much bigger story. We're celebrating generations of visionaries and voters and leaders who brought us to this day. Many of them are not able to be here with us today. I will make mention of just two people in passing. One is my former boss, for whom I researched light rail construction projects over 30 years ago as a staffer on the King County Council, and he went on to lead Sound Transit and lead the Sound Transit 2 measure that got us here today, former Seattle Mayor Greg Nichols. And the other, a woman who has been mentioned, but without whom none of us would be here today, former CEO of Sound Transit, Joni Earle. And all the rest of you. Because there are decades of faded pictures of groundbreakings with golden shovels and of ribbons being cut with oversized shears. And all the faces that you see in those photos had a part to play in this, and so many other folks. But the thing about these ribbon cuttings is that we look around and say, my goodness, we realize that we set out to do something extraordinary together, and we got it done. We did it. That's what today is about. So we're going to take another one of those pictures and add to that photo album in just a bit. We're going to write the next chapter of this story that the voters of Puget Sound are authoring. And as we transform our region with light rail, I want us to think about those who came before us, those who made today possible, and all of those who will carry on our legacy as we continue to build this region and this state. Congratulations to every single person here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dow. Now I'm honored to introduce Washington Governor Jay Inslee, who we all know is a tireless champion for climate solutions, for our environment, and for transit, and these things are connected together, and he has been a strong champion for our project as well. We are so pleased that he's able to join us. Welcome, Governor Inslee, and welcome, First Lady Trudy Inslee.
Good day. First, I hope people appreciate the leadership of Dow Constantine taking slings and arrows and never wavering on this project. Dow, thank you for your leadership. I really appreciate it. Well, we all have a history on this project. Mine goes back 1969. I remember at a Thanksgiving dinner, my uncle was a lawyer in Bellevue, and he told the family he was going to move his little law firm over to this little teeny tiny burg called Bellevue, Washington. It was like a one-horse town at the time. And my uncle said, Evan, what are you thinking of? This is nuts. It's a tiny little, what's over in Bellevue, Washington? And my uncle looked at my uncle Dick and said, Dick, the day will come when I have the largest law firm in Bellevue, Washington. It is a stunning, internationally renowned city, and your nephew will be governor of the state of Washington, leading the coolest public transportation infrastructure project in the United States. And we're here today. So we're excited to have that comfort. My comment on this is that this project is fundamentally a monument. It is a monument to our community and our people in the fact that we are a confident and a resolute people. It tells us who we are. It's not just concrete. It is a physical manifestation of what is in our hearts and our minds, that we are confident in our ability to lead a technological revolution as we have done in all our high-tech companies, and that we are resolute people who are willing to overcome challenges and small minds who don't understand promise that takes time. And this is a monument to our confidence in the fact that we are resolute. And so I want to thank everybody who has expressed that. Now I want to note the state of Washington's part in this project. We always want to brag of the fact, we politicians, that we bring money to the project. I didn't bring a dime to this project. I am showing humility for just one small moment. But the state of Washington is doing something extraordinary. This line is an artery of a transportation system, but we need capillaries. We need to be able to get people to this line so they can enjoy it. We need buses, we need bikes, we need sidewalks. Thank God that we have our state's Climate Commitment Act that is committing $400 million so we can have bikes and sidewalks and free bus rides so we can get to this project. And we are going to keep the climate commitment on track so people can get free bus rides if you're 18 to get to this station, so the Climate Commitment Act can get you a sidewalk to get to this station, and so we can help buses get to be electrified so they don't pollute. The Climate Commitment Act is part of this project, and we're going to keep it on the track. Congratulations. Let's keep going.
Our governor, ladies and gentlemen. Nice job. All right, so we talk a lot at these things about how we got the key decisions and plans and funding together to build a transit line, but the people who actually built it with their expertise and their hands through every season and all kinds of weather and a pandemic are the workers on the construction sites. So I'm very pleased next to introduce Monty Anderson, Executive Secretary of Seattle-King County Building Trades, who represents the union members who brought us this beautiful light rail line. Welcome, Monty.
Well, thank you, Claudia, and I can't tell everybody, I represent over 25,000 men and women who work their tails off to put projects like this together. I would be remiss if I went and stepped back in time a little bit and thank Dow and the governor for the help during COVID. It was tough for all of us, and their safety and everything that Sound Transit did, you can tell I get choked up. It was hard, and they came through for us, and thank you, Governor, and Dow, and Sound Transit. You made it safe for us to come to work when we just didn't know what was going on, and I appreciate that, so I want to let you guys know that. I do have a lot of stats about all the hours and things, but something happened here a few months ago about this project, and I thought I'd tell that story. I sit on my apprenticeship board, and years ago I had this foster kid, was couch surfing. He came to our apprenticeship. We got a job, and I was his very first foreman on his first day. It was Cedar Court, Microsoft building, down the road. Very first day on the job. Kid didn't know how to read a tape measure, blah, blah, blah. We worked with him and everything. A few months ago, I hear that he is now the general foreman on a project here in Bellevue. I thought, what a life-changing event, right? So maybe I'm going to come out here and see this kid and everything. I hadn't seen him for about 15 years. I come out here, I see him. He says, "Hi, Monty, how's it going?" And I started talking to him a little bit. And he goes, so I thought he'd want to talk. And you know what he said to me? He said, "Monty, I don't know what you're doing here, but we got shit to do here." And I said, "Well, I thought I'd come out here." And he goes, "Yeah, I get it all, but we got stuff to do." And I thought, you know what? That's probably what I would have said in the field, too, if some guy in a suit would have came up to me and started BSing with me at work. So it just shows how these jobs are transformative, life-changing for that young man and for all the young women and people we bring in. And Sound Transit, King County, the state, everybody together is all around what this really is. The job sites need to reflect the community so we can keep people working and living in the towns where they live. That's not only green, but it's good for everybody. And I just want to thank, like I said, thank Sound Transit and all the government help we've had to keep this ball rolling. Like I always said, ribbon cuttings are okay, but I mostly like when we're putting the shovel in the ground. So let's get that going. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Monty. I want to just add a few words. The workers who build our light rail lines and other vital infrastructure, they're highly skilled experts, and they put their physical persons on the line to provide the infrastructure that we all rely on. So I want to take a moment to honor Walter Burrows. Walter Burrows was a longtime Kiewit employee. He passed away on the job as he worked on Eastlink for all of us. And so today, as we're celebrating, let's also remember that all of our workers put their personal safety on the line, and we owe it to them to recognize that and to redouble our commitment to worker safety. So thank you for taking a moment to think about those folks. Thank you. And now it is really just a personal privilege to welcome my friend, my colleague, Bellevue Mayor Lynn Robinson. I'm not done talking about you. Mayor Robinson ran for the city council on a platform of making sure this light rail line to Bellevue and the East Side came here, and she has been a stalwart ally in that fight since day one. She is now in her third term as mayor of Bellevue. Please welcome Bellevue Mayor Lynn Robinson.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's a little cold up here, so if I'm shaking, just forgive me. I'm Mayor Lynn Robinson, and I'm very proud to be standing here with my fellow council members, Deputy Mayor Mo Malakutian, Council Members Stokes, Zahn, Lee, and Neuenhouse. Light rail is a generational leap ahead in Bellevue's ability to provide multimodal regional transportation choices. It'll knit our communities together, and it will sustain us as our city grows in our population and our economy. What you see here today is the culmination of years of what I'll call collaboration, debate, and fueled by the community's desire to see light rail running through their city, a service that will expand access to the East Side, support our community's efforts, commitment to sustainability and affordable housing, foster development of transit-oriented communities, and attract new businesses and amenities to the city. And look at what just the promise of light rail has brought to us today. And I have to say, we would all be in the rain if it weren't for Councilmember Claudia Balducci's efforts to put this rain cover over us. Let's thank her for that. The alignment that you see today is proof that, in the words of Emil King, sometimes compromise can be the best choice, and in this case it was. I want to thank Sound Transit for their partnership, hard work, and commitment to bringing light rail service to the East Side. I also want to thank the City of Bellevue staff who spent hours on this work, connecting with the community, preparing briefs, and meeting with the City Council over many years to equip us with the information that we needed to make these impactful decisions for our community's future. Thank you to our Bellevue City Council members and mayors, past and present, who remain committed to delivering transformative infrastructure to our East Side communities, including Conrad Lee, Connie Marshall, Chuck Mosier, Mike Creighton, Grant Degginger, John Shelmanek, Don Davidson, Phil Noble, Patsy Bonacontri, Jennifer Robertson, Kevin Wallace, John Stokes, and of course, Claudia Balducci. I want to thank our former city managers, Steve Carcosi and Brad Miyake. And finally, I want to thank somebody very courageous in the room. Can I have Sue Boss stand up? She led Move Forward Bellevue, and she took a lot of bullets for the team. And without her, we would not be here. We have so many tremendous leaders in the room here today. I want to thank you all. Thank everybody who is here, who has stayed steadfast with their support and their input. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Robinson, and almost the entire Bellevue City Council. Great to see you here today. Of course, one of the great benefits of this light rail line is that it will carry workers to some of the largest and most vital employment centers in the Northwest. So next, I'm honored to invite up Brad Smith, president of Microsoft, Redmond's largest employer, and a representative of a company that understood the benefit of this light rail line from the very beginning and stood up for it from day one. Welcome, Brad Smith. Thank you. Everyone gets hugs today. You're not.
Well, thank you. I remember still the meeting on the Microsoft campus in 2007 when the ballot measure was first being raised to build what we are standing here today to celebrate. And we at Microsoft talked about whether we'd put the company's voice and wallet behind it. I still remember what somebody said. It was, this could become one of the crown jewels of Puget Sound. I'll tell you what no one said. It would take 17 years to get here. But there was something that we knew then and that we see so clearly today, because we knew it would require the power of persistence and the commitment of a community to bring this day to come. And it has. It's taken, as you can see, the leadership and support of city council members and mayors, of a county executive and a governor, of our two great senators who work every week and month in Washington, D.C., of the countless people who literally have devoted their jobs and careers to building this. But there's another group that we should celebrate and thank as well. Because what is so important about this initiative is it's not just money from the federal government, it's not just the support of the state. What it would take to make this day come was persuading the public to pay for it. So thank yourselves for making this day real. But there's one other thing that I think is worth remembering. It also took a lot of money from Microsoft. Literally. Not just the money we put into each and every campaign to help persuade you to stick with it, but Microsoft literally has spent hundreds of millions of dollars to build the infrastructure that people are going to finally have the opportunity to use today. To help build the station in Redmond, to help build a bridge that people could use to get there, to help add a bike path, a pedestrian trail. Heck, we even had to spend $9 million just to upgrade the stormwater line next to the Redmond station. I will admit that when I think back to that meeting in 2007, I've sometimes had occasion to say to people, no one ever explained to me that that was going to be such an expensive meeting. But oh my gosh, I am so glad that we did. Because it's not typical, as I think everybody here knows, for a company to be able to, or to choose to do what we have done. And you might ask why. After all, we pay taxes for these kinds of things. Ultimately, I think it's for two reasons. The first is one of the things that we think about today at Microsoft, as we're in the first month of our 50th year as a company, is that you cannot have a great company without a great community. You cannot build a great company or sustain it without the help of a great community, and you cannot have a great community unless a great company is prepared to keep investing in it. And that's why we have, in so many ways, for so many years. But there's a second reason that I think this day and this commitment and these investments are so special. Every once in a while, you have the opportunity as a person, a community, or a company to do something that will outlive yourself. When I look out here today, I see everybody here, but mostly I see a little girl in the third row in a yellow coat who's probably about 4 years old. How? 8? 6. So, I'm sorry. She is 6 years old. But you know what? We are building this for her. And we are building it for her children and grandchildren. 100 years from now, she may be the only one here who's here today, but I'll guarantee this. This station will be here. The people of the future will be served, and it's because of what all of us have decided to do and stick with it. Thank you to everyone.
Thank you, Brad. And just to put a period on the end of that sentence, as you're riding today, do get off at the Redmond Technology Station and walk that beautiful new bridge that Microsoft built out of their campus. It's wonderful. All right, next, I'd like to invite up Beryl Tomei, Vice President of Last Mile Delivery and Technology at Amazon, Bellevue's largest employer, and a company that represents the growing and evolving tech sector that's a key element of the ridership that this starter line is meant to serve. Welcome, Beryl. Welcome. Everybody gets out.
Thank you. Hello, good morning. My name is Beryl, and I've been with Amazon for 19 years, and I'm the Vice President of Transportation. At Amazon, my group's in charge of getting packages delivered to your doorstep. My local team of 1,500 individuals work just a few blocks away, and they're innovating for our customers, from building the technology that gets packages delivered worldwide, to supporting our partners in creating a delivery fleet that's going to get our operations to net zero carbon emissions by the year 2040 with the Climate Pledge. Personally, my husband and I love being here. We've been in the community for many years. I enjoy walking our dog, Luna, down Main Street to Bellevue Downtown Park and volunteering at Mary's Place on 12th Avenue. I'm also very proud that my team was one of the first groups at Amazon to move to Bellevue in early 2019. And Amazon was actually founded here, not too far from where we're standing today. Fast forward to today, we now occupy 9 buildings with 12,000 employees who are working across the city. We found that Bellevue and Eastside are great places for us to call home. As Amazon grows our presence here, we're committed to in partnering with the community and investing in affordable housing, promoting public transit options, and supporting local organizations. While we know that jobs and workspaces are important, we're equally as committed to ensuring our growth is sustainable and that we're investing in the right infrastructure to support this community. As a result of this work, we're excited to celebrate and sponsor today's opening of the 2 line. Not only will this investment provide easier access to downtown Bellevue for our employees, it will begin to open up new opportunities for the broader community. With our teams coming in 3 times a week or more, I'm excited that we have even more mass transit options to leverage in achieving the Climate Pledge. I also look forward to the 2 line helping to connect parts of our community and workforce in a cleaner and more efficient way than ever before. As part of the Eastlink opening and Amazon's continued hands-on approach to supporting mass transit, we will be providing up to 15,000 preloaded Orca cards to members of the community to support ridership and increase public transit access. These Orca cards will be distributed through our vast network of nonprofit partners to those who need it the most in our community. We actually have a few of these preloaded Orca cards today. Visit our Amazon team at the Friends of the Grand Connection table, a group that is working on our region's next infrastructure project, connecting pedestrians and cyclists from East Rail via the Grand Connection crossing over I-405 to downtown Bellevue. I'm looking forward to the ribbon cutting for that project in the next few years. This is a monumental day for our community, and Amazon is so proud to be a part of it. Congratulations to Sound Transit, and thank you for having me here today.
Thank you, Beryl. So as we've heard, this service is really a legacy. It's for the future. And also, it's a commitment to the kind of high-capacity transit that supports a clean, climate-friendly system, and it helps keep our commitment to a healthy environment for future generations. So I'm pleased to now welcome Vernon Lumpkin, who is a former Lake Washington student, Lake Washington grad, current University of Washington student, and a longtime sustainability leader. Welcome, Vernon.
You're going to have to forgive my nerves, I think. I'll chalk it up to nervousness and a poor sleep schedule. But I'm so happy to be here today. I'm really honored. There are a lot of profound, impactful leaders that I see in the news all the time. And I'm just really grateful to be here. Hi, everyone. My name is Vernon Lumpkin. I've been asked here to speak today to represent the younger population. A fun fact about me, I love trains. I'm just the absolute biggest fan, and apparently so do all of you. You all love trains as well. Even if you don't share that same adoration of trains, I think we can all appreciate what they mean for community and what they can mean for ours. Before I get into everything, let me add a bit of context to my obsession for trains. I was born in Singapore and spent my elementary years growing up in Munich, Germany. These are both cities with really robust transit networks that are integral to everyday life. On family trips to Singapore, I'd use the MRT to go in and around the island, and well, I've wanted to have the same experiences here on the East Side. Currently, I'm in my first year of studying computer science at the University of Washington, and I'm a graduate from Lake Washington High School. Go Kings, go Dogs. Moving across the lake and onto the UW campus has been eye-opening in a lot of different ways. Just Seattle has so much to offer in terms of sports, entertainment, recreation, and music, and their transit system has been pretty key, especially the light rail, in accessing and exploring all of that. At the university, I've come to more fully appreciate just connectedness in general. I've met people from all around the world from all around the nation and all around the world that have come here to work and learn, and being able to connect with them is really important. And I've internalized how much this region serves as an international intersection of technology, sustainability, policy, and culture. So today, I encourage you to look beyond the light rail as just another mode of transportation. It serves our community as a symbol of connectedness, equity, environmentalism, evolution, and freedom. That same exuberance that you felt being handed your first pair of car keys, a privilege that's not afforded to all, now comes in the form of a navy blue Orca cart. The line represents another step towards bridging the gap between that job you couldn't take because it was too far, that robotics program you couldn't join because your mom couldn't drive you, that soccer team you had to drop because gas was too expensive, and that friend you just couldn't see because you don't have a license. The light rail brings opportunity and access closer to each and every one of us. It's empowering us, the youth, to be present and connect, not just with our community, but with the world beyond. As an Eastsider, Seattleite, and vehicless college student, I'm immensely appreciative and inspired by the progress and actions being made by our community leaders to create a more connected and sustainable urban area. We're building infrastructure that matches our growth, protects our environment, dissolves barriers to equity, and provides opportunities to everyone that lives here. I can't wait to see what follows. Thank you so much.
Yeah, vote for Vernon, 2036. We're gonna run him. Thank you. All right, next I'm just personally very proud to invite my friend Jaron Sparman, interim CEO at Sound Transit, to say a few words. Jaron and I have been foxhole buddies on this project. We've been working on this since the very, very first days when he was serving as the City of Bellevue's transportation director, and it just couldn't be more fitting that he is here today in his new role to see this project come alive. Welcome, Jaron. Come on up. Great taste in shoes, too.
Good morning, everyone. I don't know about you. To me, the sun is shining, the sky is blue. It's about 75 degrees. No, just kidding. But this is a very remarkable day. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining us to celebrate this very remarkable day as we open Link Light Rail service on the east side with our brand new 2-line. As Sound Transit's interim CEO, I am certainly caught up in the excitement with many of my agency colleagues, many of whom have been dedicated to this historic project for nearly 2 decades. It is a remarkable time period that actually seeing us actually bring this project to fruition. And I really want to call out all the Sound Transit staff, past and future and present, that have been engaged on this project and will continue to work on the projects as we go forward. They deserve full credit for making sure we're here today. And I especially want to call out one of my predecessors, Joni Earl. Joni, without you, we would not be here today. I want to acknowledge that. As a longtime Eastside resident, I am thrilled that the quality of life on the Eastside is now taking a quantum leap forward. Thousands of residents in this community will now have a fast, reliable, inexpensive way to travel between Bellevue and Redmond, with 8 stations knitting neighborhoods together along the way, including in the growing Spring District. After we cut this ribbon, it will only take 14 minutes to travel between here and Redmond every day, no matter what traffic looks like on I-405 and SR 520. And as a personal note, I have always avoided I-405. It is. So now you have a choice. You can actually avoid it. And as my board member, Claudia Buldrucci, mentioned, in a previous life, I was the director of Bellevue's transportation department. In that role, I spent years working with members of this community as we envisioned the transformative possibilities of light rail while working through many complex challenges. It was trying, even contentious at times, but we all worked together to reach this opening day. And that is a remarkable achievement, and I'm personally proud and excited to actually be here, standing here today. We worked together to prioritize the downtown Bellevue Tunnel. We worked together to create hundreds of affordable new homes near our Spring District and Overlake Village stations. We worked together with Bellevue, Redmond, King County, and Microsoft to create some of the best pedestrian and bicycle connections to be found anywhere in the region, including especially full credit to Microsoft, including the new Microsoft-funded pedestrian bridge that we just opened this last week. We also partnered closely with contractors and engineering consulting firms and many skilled laborers to undertake the monumental task of actually building this project. And I just want to emphasize, when you ride the train later, it seems sort of straightforward. There's the tracks, there's the trains, there's the stations. But when you look underneath the hood, the quality and skilled workmanship that goes into actually delivering this kind of project, it's remarkable. It is not that far behind building rocket ships to fly to the moon. And I've actually have toured our new maintenance facility here on the east side, and when you see the work that goes into maintaining the state of good repair for the vehicles and the systems that we have in place, it is truly remarkable. And I just want to acknowledge the real work that goes into making sure this stuff happens. I'm not going to call out the specific contractors or consulting firms that worked on this, because I'll be here all day, but I need to mention Atkinson Contractors, who actually built the tunnel on top of which we are standing. And I hope they did a good job, or I may just disappear from sight here in a second. I have high confidence that that's not going to happen. And of course, as much as this day is a celebration and culmination of one project, it's just the beginning for Eastside Light Rail. Next spring, we will extend light rail further into Redmond. We will add 2 new stations at Merrimore Village and downtown Redmond as we connect this to downtown Redmond. Now I'm looking for the Redmond mayor, who's here somewhere. Oh, there she is. We're looking forward to repeating this next spring, Mayor. And later next year, we will bring the biggest transformation of all, when we cross I-90 and extend these Eastside trains through Seattle and all the way to Linwood in Snohomish County. That's when we really see the major system benefit of connecting Line 2 with existing Line 1 in the International District in downtown Seattle. So, while we're thrilled about all the eight two-line stations, I'm getting my numbers all mixed up here, the 8 new stations on Line 2 that we're opening today, they don't make up the full 2-line as I talked about. The full system will actually have 25 stations. And in short, as this region grows, we are growing with it. We will continue to match this region's growth with connectivity over the decades to come as we deliver the voter mandate to build our full 252-mile transit network across Puget Sound. And I have to do another plug. August 30th, please join us in Linwood when we open the extension to Line 1 from Northgate to Linwood. It's only a couple of stations, but it's going to be a huge benefit to the region, and that's the next major opening that we are looking forward to. With all that, thank you so much for being here today. I have appreciated the partnership. Thank you.
All right, and lastly, batting cleanup on this outstanding series of speakers, I want to welcome my friend and a great regional leader, Redmond Mayor and Sound Transit Board member, Angela Burney, who has been a critical and steadfast partner in expanding light rail service to the East Side. Welcome, Mayor Burney.
And yes, I am the last speaker. I think everyone's really excited to get going. Well, good morning, and once again, I'm Angela Burney, Mayor of the City of Redmond, and I am delighted to be here today to celebrate the opening of the first part of the East Link Extension, also known as the 2-line. I want to thank all of the previous speakers. It is an honor to be with those who have done so much, all of you, to make today a reality. Like many of you, ever since the Eastside community voted for Sound Transit, I've dreamed of a day when I can hop on a train in Redmond and quickly get to Bellevue, and now that day is here. And Redmond is ready to change how you experience our city with the 2 stations and our other investments. Our Overlake Village Bridge connects the station and everything to the south to businesses and the 520 bike trail to the north. And the Redmond Technology Station Bridge, which has been mentioned before, which was a partnership with Microsoft, Sound Transit, and WashDOT. It is the connector of the station to bike routes and regional bus routes and creates the connection for Microsoft's East and West campuses. Both the technology and the Overlake Village stations were designed with their own unique and beautiful artwork, creating a distinctive Redmond feel. And the Redmond Technology Station Garage, from today on, bicyclists can lock up their bikes and drivers can park their cars so everyone can take the train and skip the aforementioned traffic. Cyclists and pedestrians are now separated from cars on 156th Avenue Northeast, creating 12 blocks of safe travel. And along with transportation improvements, we've added 2 new important stormwater facilities, which Mr. Smith mentioned earlier. One is adjacent to the technology station and the other hidden underground at the Overlake Village Station. These stormwater systems ensure we are improving the environment for generations to come. And light rail is bringing generational change to our region. As you ride today, look around at the changes along the line. Yes, light rail is a sustainable transportation option, but it is so much more. It improves neighborhood livability by bringing transit-oriented development and improved connections to housing, jobs, businesses, and our parks. The 2-line has been the catalyst in transforming Redmond from a suburb to a city. And I invite you to rediscover all that Redmond and the Eastside has to offer. I am proud to work alongside so many partners who have looked at things in new and forward-thinking ways. I'd like to thank all of the current, and I'm not going to name you all because it take forever, all of the current and past council members and staff from the city of Redmond and the entire region. And I personally like to thank my predecessor, Mayor John Marchione, for being part of the Sound Transit Board and being such a visionary. I am grateful that from the very beginning, Redmond elected officials and staff understood the positive impact light rail would have on the community. Let's celebrate today and explore light rail. And let's keep this positive energy going as we look toward the opening of the downtown and Murray-Moore Village stations next spring. And with that, I look forward to seeing all of you on the rails to Redmond.
Okay. Oh no, somebody's crashing the program. I'll allow it.
We want to say from the Transit Writers Union, we have a swag bag for you.
Oh.
And because we have been working with Claudia for all of the years. Oh, we've been working with
Transit
Claudia.
Writers Union, they're big advocates for transit. I'm just going off script.
Lots of you are sitting out there, I know. But we would like to thank you with this wonderful card.
Oh my gosh.
And if you want to hold on to that, the front.
Oh.
Welcome to line 2, or 2 line.
So much.
I can hold on.
That's the best interruption ever. Thank you. Man, are you going to be interrupted? You want to be interrupted like that? That's awesome. Thank you, Transit Writers Union. All right, we are almost there. Those of you on this side, if you look out, you can probably see the trains waiting to pull in, right? It's almost here, all right? I just want to say one last thing, and that is you all have been listening for a long time. I want to thank the 2 people who have been listening to me talk about this for the longest time, and that is my husband, Jim, right here in the red, who's been hearing me go on about this line for over half of our 30-year relationship. And I want to thank our teenager, Victor, who's been hearing it for most of their life. All right, we're going to ride it, you guys. So, we're here. Light rail has come to East King County, and now we are going to cut some ribbons, and then we're going to get on board. Yes, all right.